Alright, I'm making this video as kind of a walk around for my 96 Viper GTS. This is a clean title car, no accident history or you know, anything like that on the title. It's a clean title, clean Carfax, no accident Carfax. As of today, it has 30,700 in change in terms of miles, I believe. We'll pop in there and look. This car is not stock, I will say first. A lot of people are interested in that, and being that the purpose of this video is to kind of give a walk around, kind of showing to prospective people if I decide to sell this car. We're going to go over some of the details of the vehicle, and you know, some of the areas that could use improvement. In my opinion, I'm very particular, of course, and to me this is a very special car. So obviously this is it's a 96 GTS. The car is not stock, and I know that can be pretty important to some people if that's what they're looking for. I would categorize this car as it's an excellent driver. Most of the paint shows very nice, and I will show some of the flaws. But again, the car is not stock, so it's what is called a West Coast Viper 650R package. This package was put on the car around 2002 to 2003 under previous ownership by a gentleman named Kyle Mizier, who owns a company called, I believe it's On Track Racing, that operates out of Willow Springs. This was his personal car from 2001 to 2011. Then it made its way to Battle Creek, Michigan, to the owner of a mobility van company, and then sold to his friend in 2017. I purchased the car in 2024, kind of on a whim. But of course, it's not very often for me in rural Michigan that a Viper GTS pops up. This was literally the first one I've ever seen in person. And it's a phenomenal car. It's a phenomenal car to drive. If my budget would allow me to have multiple hobby vehicles, believe that I would keep this, but it's just too hard. So anyhow, what was the 650R package? Well, from what I gather on this vehicle, it's unique. So you know, it was all done at the same time. So we've got CCW Classics, 10-inch, 13-inch. I did put tires on it last fall. They're Kenda Vezda UHP Max, 275/35, 335, 30/18. It does have bare front brakes. However, I have stock front calipers and rotors for all four, as well as pads for all four, because I hoard parts. And I was going to go back to a stock wheel, and I don't believe these wheels or these brakes will fit in a stock wheel. That will accompany the vehicle. So anyway, the 650R package, yeah, the brake stuff, as you can see, it's been converted to Gen 1 side pipes. That was very early in its life. I have some photos from the early 2000s showing that. So it's no longer rear exit exhaust. It has also, I believe, some no name or unknown name headers on the vehicle. I believe it's a stock camshaft. There's a cat. Get away from the road, cat. Stock cam. It does have T&D machine shaft mount rockers, probably a higher ratio than stock, but I believe it's a stock cam. I say that because we had it on the dyno. It made 490 wheel horsepower, 563 wheel torque. Peak horsepower came in at 5,300. So I'd say stock cam. Now the rockers may give an increased lift, but yeah. So the car, I've ran it in the quarter mile once, and I've used the draggy on it a couple times. My ET, you know, with like a 2.160 foot, which is pretty slow, take off kind of easy, ran 1180s at 124 to 125 miles an hour. So it is quite a bit stronger than stock, but it's not 650 horsepower like West Coast may have claimed it to be. Probably more like 550 flywheel. So we're going to go over some of the stuff in the car. We're going to kind of show some of the chips here. Paint chipping here, and that very lower part of the bumper was painted black. You can see some stuff that was touched up here. Some scrapes on the fog light cover, and the headlights are pretty nice, but the fog light cover there is scraped. The headlights are nice. Now they are tinted yellow like a Le Mans race car. That was done very early in its life. I have some photos back to, like I said, around 2003, 2004, and that's been on there since then. See, the wheels are in pretty nice shape. There is some light curbing on some of the wheels, and they could use polished a little bit. So some of the main areas here that do need attention. See that rocker cover there. So that paint blistering a little bit on the aluminum. Down here a bit too. And that could use touched up. So let's take a good look here and see that there. So that would need to be repainted. That's really all there is to that. The interior is pretty nice. Pretty stock and original in here. I do have a shift knob from, I think it came off a 2001 GTS. I just prefer it. I've got a short B&M shift handle that came with the car when I got it. I really don't like that. But the interior is in pretty good shape. It's comfortable. There is some, you know, kind of pressure wear on the seat. Small dimple there. Let's see. Fuel tank, you can see, is corroded. I do have a new old stock fuel cap in the box from Mopar, brand new, gorgeous. That comes with the car. Most of the paint shows pretty nice on the vehicle. Really, really nice, honestly. A little bit of paint work and a paint correction. This is gonna come up really nice. You can see some kind of scuffs in the clear coat here. Definitely would come back out. Sash-on panels, you see that? Yeah, this rubber is not super great, and the other side is not either. But I have new Temple Performance sash-on panels with the weather strip. Those accompany the car. Not an issue there. So the biggest issue with this car, see this crack in the fiberglass here? Put a little piece of tape on it. So this is my fault. This happened going in the garage last year, and it's completely my fault. Feel really crappy about it. I have another door that has a little bit of like blistering, kind of like that here, and some other damage. That door comes with the car. I know this can be fixed. Do I know the cost? Sure don't. It depends if you know somebody who you know. Now, you see the weather stripping here? Yes, 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 yes. 2-piece. I have 1-piece weather stripping for both sides. That also accompanies the car. I purchased most everything to refurbish this stuff because I really wanted to make it top notch, but really what's happening is, you know, I love the car, but again, it's hard. I have all these other ideas of stuff I want to put together. One of them is an R129 SL Mercedes, and just a handful of other things. So I guess I'm just getting to that point where I'm, you know, the market's cold. It's a terrible time to sell. At the same time, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. I guess there's no good explanation. It's hard. If I could keep it forever, would I? Yeah, absolutely. Small blister here in this panel. So you'll see on this door panel, see this fixing here, and then this trim piece, I have it, but it's off. So I have a very nice used door panel, interior door panel for this car, as well as this trim piece and the door bezel, as well as a new old stock passenger door and the associated trim pieces. I hoard parts. These are just things that I've picked up. So no worries there. All the parts to do all that stuff come with the car. I'm currently 30,640 miles. Factory gauges, factory Alpine head units. There's the plaque from when it was put together at West Coast Viper. Again, they are defunct now. Let me go ahead and pop the hood. So, all I have about this history is mostly what I've learned from Kylo Mazier, the gentleman who owned it the longest. What I was told by Kylo is that when he got this car, it was a Hennessy 600 package installed. Can I verify that? No, I'm really going by, you know, how well is his memory from 25 years ago. So the only thing that supports that, it's got these valve covers that say Venom 600, and the floor mats also say, you know, Hennessy Venom 600. So as far as under the hood, again, it's no longer that engine. This engine has been rebuilt by West Coast Viper. This engine, it featured, it's completely gone through by West Coast. It's got a baffled oil pan, some stuff like that. The Venom engine, I believe, let go like one of the broad turns at Willow Springs. So this one was rebuilt for that purpose, and it was like $28,000 to do this, and the brakes and all the stuff, and the wheels and the side pipes back in, you know, 2003. So got new Havik wires new coils and plugs. Now I did that in preparation for the dyno last fall, and the purpose of the dyno really wasn't to gain power, is to just kind of look over an old tune, you know, make sure it's safe. And he ended up pulling some fuel and pulling some timing, and we actually gained power. It was just a little bit rich, so it's pretty much maxed out on the stock injectors at 490 wheel. Now you can see 70mm throttle bodies, modified to modified airbox for a true straight 70mm intake track. That's been that way for a very long time. Kylo had that done under his ownership. It also has an oil filter relocation. The Peterson, you can see it up there. Routes to the oil cooler in the front and relocates the oil filter to underneath the airbox. So when I service it, remove the airbox, I service the K&N filters if needed, and access the oil filter really easily from up top. So that's pretty much that under the hood. Now, a couple other things. AC does blow cold. However, currently, I don't love it either. I had to bypass the heater core. Now, it's leaking just a little steam in the cabin, so I got a bypass kit that's a proper elbow. Everything flows fine. Currently, the heater core is bypassed. Now, I know these are pretty much obsolete. My plan was to have it, you know, take it out, have a radiator shop or whatever, you know, do whatever they've got to do. I don't know much about that biz, but I know that they can fix radiators and heater cores, so that was kind of the plan of action with that. So the other issue you'll see, passenger wipers off. Now both motors function, but I'm having synchronization issues. So I removed the one. I don't drive in rain, so it's not a huge worry for me, but I am still looking to see what the options are, and as of now I'm not sure. Now the driver wiper works, but it doesn't, I've never had them hit, but they'll go up and they'll stop and like pause. So I took that out just to prevent any synchronization issues if I did get caught in the rain. And by that I mean having the wipers slap each other, which would be a real shame. I don't want to damage anything and have the motors, you know, completely burn up from smacking each other. Both sides are down here. Go ahead. That's always fun. So, a couple other things. Some light fading on these vents here on both sides, just a little bit. It's like the paint just kind of rubbed off or faded off, which is odd because the rest of the paint shows pretty darn nice. Again, some light surface stuff that might buff out. Honestly, it's maybe kind of hard to see, but up front here there are some stone chips down low. Some of that's bugs, but some of it is stone chips and some light blistering. It's a fantastic car. There's some driving videos on my channel. It's a tough thing. So anyways, but that's not the point of this video. The point of the video is to show the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start it up. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. It's kind of dark in here. And I haven't vacuumed. I do drive the car. I've actually, when I got this car in 2024, I had 27,456 miles. So I've put, it was like 27,956, yeah. So I've put, shoot, 2,700 miles in this car. Serviced the fluids and stuff when I got it. No issues. I mean, it literally, it's an excellent driver. All the dash lights and stuff work. It's about the chop you would expect from a 708 cam. Like I said, the rockers probably give a little bit extra lift, but I believe it's a 708 cam. An unknown headwork, you know. Unfortunately, I can't get a hold of anybody at West Coast Viper to get an exact answer on exactly what the package was. You can see the tires. Like I said, I bought these in 2024. They are date code like mid 2023, but still fresh tires. It's a really fun car. It's a really strong car. Excellent driver car. got other parts for it too. The bolster pump for the driver's seat, the little hand bolster pump, I've got that. Like I said, all the trim pieces, the door panels, sash-on panels, new old stock fuel cover, and again the passenger door panel for the inside, that's new old stock as well. Factory service manuals, factory front calipers, rotors for all four because the rear brakes are stock, and pads just because I like to keep maintenance stuff in stock for when the day comes. Currently just running 1030 Mobile 1. That's what I put in, and I've done 2 oil changes since I got it. Just because I'm anal particular. Yeah, the big thing here would be the door. You know, like I said, the rest of the paint is gorgeous. It does not have a spare tire or the spare tire cover in the trunk. That's gone. The windshield's nice. Headlights are good. Like I said, they're tinted. It appears to be like a spray film tint. It's not an applicated film or anything like that. But yeah, so this is the car. Any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And like I said, on my channel here, there are other videos of me driving the car, and you can watch those. I think one of them's like a 20-minute video. So again, not original engine for sure. It's not the original build anyways. Like I said, it was a Hennessy. Allegedly there was another engine in between, and this is all between 2000 and 2005, and then this engine went in. Like I said, I think around 03 would be this engine. So, you know, driver quality, excellent driver quality car. Anywhere trouble-free. I've averaged up to 17 miles per gallon on a tank with this. I track all my fuel. I drive it pretty easy, generally speaking. But alright, I appreciate you watching. Any questions, you know, let me know, and I'll be happy to try to do my best. Again, I know it's a terrible time to sell. It is a great time for someone to buy, I suppose, and I suppose I apply that to my next purchase as well. Hopefully I can find something as well bought as this likely will be. So, alright, thanks for watching. Any questions? Happy to help, and enjoy.